Good day to one and all. This is Dr. Sivaraman of iknowindustries.com. Hope you are able to hear me. Good day to one and all. Good day. Sound is fine. Thank you. Let me display the slide. Asian session live market analysis on September 13th, a new week. Between 5 and 5:30, I'll review the market using the live market quote page. So I'll give the link for the same. You can open it in a browser. Currently, Euro is trading around 1.279395. The low is 1.2684. The high is 1.2807. 118 pips positive net change is seen. So, after the weekend, subdued moves towards US session on Friday, they created the feel that Euro does not have a strength and things like that, and induced the long holders to liquidate the long positions. And those who have gone short, expecting further drop in the case of Euro, they did not find much rise, so obviously they also calmly waited. Now you come across the players have gained 100 pips and inducing them to do the short covering. So this is the first step, inducing the short sellers to do the short covering, and then for the gains, those who have gone short might think that it's better to average the short and try to sell more, and later on find that all the shorts are making loss and subsequently going for big short covering in this particular week. So the players create the market sentiments and act against that of the traders. So that we need to understand. And last week when I was telling that Euro and GBP are expected to gain, and actually they were not gaining in the market and they were making subdued moves. They made the wide range swings, again made the drop and created the feel that they may not rise further. So this is how the players act against the sentiments of the traders. So we need to understand, and there comes the importance of the forecast. Then probably in line with that of the forecast, using the market trading and the trading strategy, one can take the positions and then calmly handle them without much of a market fear. Then in the case of GBP, 1.5417, 1.5421 are the current levels, 1.5356 was the low, and then they gained up to 1.5220 and 62 pips positive net change is seen. And in the case of USDN, it is hovering around that of 84 level again. So it is ranging from 84.50 to 83.50, and that sort of consolidation they are trying to do it. And currently it is about 5 pips negative net change. Then in the case of CHF, they gained the levels on Friday. Then subsequently they dropped it again. They have come to that level of 1.0147 and 1.0142 is the low, 1.0207 is the high. 52 pips negative net change is seen. When Euro has gained about 119 pips, CHF has dropped only 52 pips. So you can understand that they do not want to drop CHF much or in tandem with that of Euro rise. So this is mainly to make a brief downward stop in the case of Euro CHF. And currently Euro CHF is trading around 1.2984, 1.2987. 1.2952 is the low, 1.3016 is the high. 46 pips gain is been noticed. So they intend to gain the levels initially in the case of Euro CHF and also Euro GBP. Subsequently, they are expected to drop Euro GBP after hitting some of the stops around above that of 0.83. This I was telling you on Friday, and mainly they created, they dropped it to 81 area. Immediately the traders jumped and taken sell position after the drop. So as long as the traders do this sort of trade, the players are able to make very good money from that other market. That is, traders buy after the gains or drop after the drop or sell after the drop. Then this sort of emotional trades will invariably lead to big losses continuously. Then USD CAD is trading around 1.0335, 1.0339. The low is 1.0314, the high is 1.0349, and 33 pips negative net change is seen. So in all the currencies, including Australian dollar, which is showing positive net change, it has gone to the new level of 0.93. 0.9317 is the high. Then 36 pips gain is seen. So all the currencies are showing for the week beginning USD weakening move. So the numerator currencies are showing positive net change and denominator currencies are showing negative net change. But numerator currencies are showing more positive net change when compared to that of less negative net change shown by the denominator currencies. So then later on, what could be the possible move during this particular day? Let me go back to that of the slide and show you the expected market for today. During the Japanese session, swing and rise moves are expected. They could gain further levels and induce the short sellers on Friday to do the short covering, or anybody who has seen that 1.28 is a good sell level and then try to take a sell, then they may not show much profit and gain further up during this particular session and induce them to do the short covering. Then again during that of the European session, they are expected to make brief swing during that of the gap time and again gain further almost 150 pips in the case of Euro and 150 pips in the case of GBP during the European session. Week beginning false move could be seen during that of the US session. They could make a very big drop and then a firming up move during that particular session, and probably that drop can be about to that of the current level or lower than that of the current level during that of the early US session, and then subsequently gain further up. So towards close of the European session also, they could make that drop in some currencies, but US session drop could be the week beginning false move. A quick drop and a quick gain could be seen during that of the US session, and then follow-up move could be seen tomorrow, and they are expected to open high and further rise. So normally in a market wherein the short sellers are trapped, one of the strategy I suggest to them is just take for the short after the gain of 150 pips. Then when they drop, try to close both the sell positions below their average or around their average so that you'll get out of that particular position and turn long. So that could be the strategy one can do, because see, there is no need of becoming afraid or tense holding an unfavorable position. We need to develop the right trading strategy to come out of such positions. And only thing is, you have to always keep in mind that over trading should be avoided, and you should not take more positions, then it will lead to over trading, and when the market moves against, all the positions will eat away the usable margin. That will create unnecessary fear. Then in the case of let us review the initial lows and the highs set for today. Euro formed the low of 1.2684, that was around that of Friday close level, and then quickly gained the level and formed 1.2798 as the initial high. Then followed by that, they made an upward soften and formed 1.2807 above this. And GBP, the low is intact, 1.5356 in the live market portfolio. You can see the high they are breached by 5 pips. 1.5420 has become the high. And in the case of CHF, 1.0142 is the low. They are holding around that particular level, and the high is 1.0207. So you can understand they set the low initially, and subsequently they are only holding around that level, and they are not dropping it or breaching the low as they are done in the case of Euro breaching the high. Then in the case of USD Yen also, 8408 is the low. They are holding closer to that of the low, but they are not breaching it. The high is also intact. Then Australian dollar 92.75 is intact, and 93.17. 93.17 is the high, and they are holding around that particular level, and they are not breached the high. Then in the case of USD CAD, 1.0314 is the low, which is also intact, and the high is 1.0349, which is also intact. So you find only in the case of Euro and GBP, they breached the high nominally and they are holding it there, and any drop is a buy opportunity, and don't try to buy when they are consolidating. Whenever they make a quick drop or a quick rise, then try to take positions, and that way big false move we can capitalize. If you are holding long positions, then when they quickly gain during the European session, you can book profit and re-enter again during that of the uh, US session drop, early Europe US session drop, and then subsequently they are expected to gain the levels again. So that sort of swing trades you can do. Otherwise, you may not be able to buy at the lower level like 1.26, 1.27, what you have bought it in the case of Euro. And in case if you do not want to do swing trade, you simply keep stop at entry and maximize the profit in your position trade. So let me take up the questions which are asked here. By minimizing the PowerPoint presentation, I'll focus the camera over the document. Live market first page. Okay, Francisco. Can we expect Australian dollar to rise again today? Yeah, Australian dollar could gain for the level as it appears. Probably they can go to 83, 85 or something like that, and then subsequently make sideways moves. In the GBP heading down, is the GBP heading down? No, I don't think so. GBP, they made the drop on Friday just to gain levels in the case of Euro GBP, and subsequently they have to reverse it now. So you'll find suddenly GBP gallops and gain about 100, 150 pips, and then you will find Euro GBP start making a slide. So initially they gain the levels and book profit in Euro GBP, and Euro GBP cross, and subsequently they reverse it. So don't underestimate any currencies just like that. And you see that GBP has also gained about 61 pips, when Euro has gained about 127 pips currently. So it is not a small gain. They have gained it. And in the case of denominator currencies, one can do buy and sell trade because they are not breached the lows. And towards close of the Japanese session, probably if they are closer to that of the low or make some brief downward stop, you can try to take a buy. Use hedging order to limit the risk. Keep that as their trading strategy. Otherwise, you stop. Then, Prow. So you are saying that JBB is going to rise to 150 pips. So rise above 1.55 during the European session. Yes, it could be possible. NJ. Is the USDN headed lower? USDN will be hovering around in this particular level. So it may not give good trading opportunity. Anybody who takes position in yen, CHF, Canadian dollar, they may not give good trading opportunity or good profit. So focus on the majors to start with, and then in the case of denominator currencies, whenever they make quick moves, then try to take position. That could give you profit rather than simply because euro has gone up, and so if you try to sell CHF, it may not drop that much. Then rise. Because this only happens on Sunday, Monday session. Looking tomorrow till Friday. Things for Pico. Then Devagan. Euro opened with a gap. Will it be filled today? I don't think so. They may not drop it big. They may drop about after the gain about 50 to 60 pips, and then gain back again during that of the year session, late year session. Then Arun, what happened with your GBP position which was hedged? Okay, you are asking question pertaining to the tracking the market together webinar, and obviously you know that I kept the hedging order at 1.5366 and that got filled, and then subsequently I kept stop at entry. They came down to that level of 1.5355, then closed it, and This morning it was closed, the hedging was closed, and subsequently the market is going up, and I kept afterwards a hedging order below that to limit the risk. And I will trail the hedging order as they go up. So uh, I have given the calls on Friday, keeping in mind that the rise they are expected to make, but they delayed the rise to this Japanese session opening session instead of Friday close. That is the only difference. And because of that, I do not want to give a sell and buy trade, because later on, if you try to do a sell and buy trade using small market moves, you might be vulnerably trapped, because they have been holding 1.27 20 in the case of euro very hardly, and they have been absorbing all the sells. They are not dropping it, and only towards close they dropped it, and that indicated very clear they had taken all, they absorbed all the sells and then subsequently dropped, so that anybody who has taken a buy will also be closing it, and they are the only buyers. So when they have bought everything, they have to gain the levels to book profit. So I understood. And in order to create the market sentiment, they dropped GBP first and also gained the levels in the case of Euro GBP. That is why I had taken a Euro GBP buy position on Friday. So this is how you have to view the net changes and try to position yourself so that one by one the positions will make profit and you can earn money from that. Ultimately, all positions should make profit for us. That should be the idea. Then Anurag, are they going to consolidate Australian dollar at these higher levels for long? Yeah, obviously they are now gained nicely in the case of Australian dollar, and they may make wide range swings at times, but they are not going to leave the levels in this month. In Jason, from the net change, there should be limited upside for euro. Should we take profit near net change of 150 pips and wait for the second? So one can do that, provided you have got the mindset to re-enter around 1.2750 or 1.2740, etc. Then one can do that. And if you find that later on, when they drop, if you think that it will go up to that of the low, then you may miss the opportunity. Instead, you can simply keep stop at entry and try to maximize the profit. This time, euro is expected to go to 1.33 and GBP is expected to go to 1.65 area. So is the as the weeks proceed, you will find more gains will be seen on a weekly basis. I missed your outlook on gold. I have not spoken anything about gold. Yeah, yeah, gold is expected to slide. They will make little bit of gain in order to make a weak beginning, false move, and then subsequently drop gold during that of the year session. In Francisco, can we expect USD to keep the recent 83-85 trading range, and probably till end of this month or next month it will be holding in this particular area, because the purpose is different, so obviously we cannot question the Japanese bank. Francisco, so whenever they hold the currencies in a range, you better avoid taking the positions, especially the denominator currencies. And understand that the country is involved, the country's bank is involved in that, not that the players are pushing it down. So obviously that is why they are giving statements just to convince the people that they are unable to intervene. That's what I asked many times. The question, when a country is unable to intervene with regard to the currency strengthening, that means they are helpless. When they are helpless, can the currency be stronger? And simply we use a different term, safe haven, and try to say that people find it's a very safe haven currency, so they try to invest in that. What is the big deal in investing in that? And obviously, when a money is used for investment, then we need to find that it is earning something out of that and not simply parking it. There are other means of parking the money. They can keep it in cash also. There is no necessity that they have to convert into another currency and save it. In Francisco. Okay. Then in DDPT. I missed what you said about GBPN and Euro yen. How high do you see GBPN rising today? So GBPN, it could gain to 1 point. I mean, you're asking about GBP-USD is expected to gain to about 1.55 area, and Euro-USD could gain to about 1.285055 area. Then, when will players start rising yen crosses? The yen crosses will gain because of the strength of Euro and GBP, but not because of the strength of USD yen or the weakness, because they are holding it in a very narrow range, USD yen. So whatever the gains we come across in Euro and GBP, similar gains will be seen in the case of Euro yen and GBP yen. The contribution from yen will be very little. Instead, you can take positions in Euro and GBP and earn that money. See, why people go in for yen crosses? Because sometimes they make the contrarian move, rising Euro and rising USD yen. As such, when Euro gains about 40 pips and USD yen gains about 40 pips, you could see Euro yen gaining about 80 pips or roughly around 80 pips. That is why people go in for the yen cross. But that sort of functionality is not now seen. In Chandra, are you expecting USD to break high, Euro USD to break higher, above the high of 1.3335 at some stage? Yeah, by end of this month, I am expecting 1.33 area, and from there we have to see first week of October, they could make some upward stop and then make some drop for at least 1 or 2 weeks, and then gain further from the later half of October till December. They are all the gaining times in the case of Euro and GBP. Then GBPN headed higher or lower. GBPN is expected to gain some more levels than below. So what is the outlook for USD INR? USD INR is expected to be in the range bound of 46.30 or 46.40 to 47 area. And this month USD INR is expected to strengthen a little bit, and then next month we could come across 47, 48 area to be touched. Then grow. Could you repeat how much of a drop do you expect in the US session? About 50 to 75 pips, depends upon the type of positions the traders have taken in Euro and GBP. Then Smith. What about CHF crosses? When could be seen the reversal and the slow rise move, maybe one-sided? As for a CHF and CHF crosses, I explained that players hold it USD CHF for a prolonged period, and it has got multi-purpose. One is to create that impression that it is a safe and currency, and so that the traders will try to buy CHF when it is very, very strong, and subsequent strengthening may not happen. And so that will lead to a wrong currency conversion trade. From that of the weak currency, buying a strong currency is not a currency conversion trade strategy. Whereas if you want to do currency conversion trade, from that of the strongest to that of the weakest, you have to convert. And when the weakest becomes strongest, then try to go back to the earlier currency. That will be the ideal way of earning money from the market. But instead of telling that, they are telling that it is a safe haven, safe haven, safe haven. As if we can walk into that of heaven straight away without losing our body. So that sort of create the impression they try to create. Uh, so that is one purpose. Secondly, you know that GBP-CHF is another cross which they handle vulnerably, and also Euro-CHF. These are all the European currency crosses. So there again, they make a prolonged consolidation. Only then the traders liquidate the long positions. Then afterwards, they are expected to gain the levels. Normally the European currencies, European crosses, they don't make more than 50 to 60 pips swing in a day. So many people thought that they are the safest currency in the world to trade. So that if we take one mini lot also, we will not incur big loss. Or even if we take 10 loss, we will not make any big loss. 1 or 2 days if we wait, and especially in a buy position, they used to give interest, and that sort of impressions they created and started making big moves when compared to that of Euro Yen and GBP Yen. So this is how when the traders are in more, when the traders hold more position in respect to currencies, they know how to handle it and earn from them. So when Euro CHF, which was trading around 1.50 to 55 and things like 52 area, people thought that whenever it comes to 1.50, you can buy and go up, and from there they had dropped nearly about 2,500 pips. Now the drop is limited, and they are expected to gain the level, because every time they come to 1.27, 1.26, the pullback happens very fast. That means they buy in a range of 100 to 200 pips. So they know very well. Then once the analysts try to find that there is this strong support, then all will try to buy, but they may not show those levels. That is why you come across Euro CHF has also gained today. Less drop in the case of CHF and more gains in the case of Euro. As a result, Euro CHF has gone. And similarly, Euro CHF, they are not dropped big when compared to Euro rise. Then grow. Did you say that the middle October and in November you expect rise? Yes. From second week of October. So till end of September there will be rise in Euro and GBP. Then first week of October there will be quick gain and the quick drop during the second week of October. Then from third week of October onwards, I am expecting, as per the forecast algorithm, I am expecting further gains in the case of Euro and GBP. November and December also, the gaining time in the case of Euro and GBP. Hope you are able to understand the long-term call, because many people were asking for it. That's why I do it. Then DDPT. For equities, do you expect it to continue to rise for the rest of the year? No, initially this Monday, Tuesday, they could gain the levels. Then afterwards, I'm expecting some sideways moves and that drop in the case of equity market. Probably the index may not drop very significantly, but individual stocks, they will try to show more of a volatile moves and try to hit the stops of the buyers. So what they do is set in every day a set of equities. They will try to drop another set of equities. They will try to rise. The next day you will find the reversal of it. That sort of moves, they could do it in the equity. So they will hold the index around that particular level, but they will do the churning in the case of the different type of equities and try different groups of equities or subsets of equities, and then try to lighten their positions and gain levels in the month of October. Then ROB. Is it difficult to log in here? What is the fault? I don't find any difficulty in logging. I don't know what is the real problem. But as far as the false move is concerned, during early European session, early US session, a quick drop and a quick rise are expected in Euro and GBP. From 12:30, 13 GMT onwards, they could make the drop. At that time, one can pick up buy positions. And tomorrow also, they are expected to gain the levels in the case of Euro and GBP. Do you expect USD SGD to drop further? Yeah, it is expected to strengthen in line with the rough majors. Yeah, I'll show the forecast slide. GBBN expected to rise further today. GBBN, if they don't drop yen significantly and gain levels in the case of euro or and GBP, then GBBN could also gain. What then, Anurag? What will be the last cross to rise, CHF or yen? Yen will be the last one to rise. So let me go back to that of the slide. I'll show the forecast. So during the Japanese session swing and rise move, they are holding firmly around that of the high in the case of euro and GBP. They have not breached the low in the case of yen, breached the low in the case of CHF, or nor breached the low in the case of CAD. In fact, CAD, they have come higher, breached the high, and also Australian dollar. They are holding around 0.93 area firmly. So they are expected to swing and rise during that of the European session as well. And towards close of European session, there could be a drop around 12:30, 12:45 GMT suddenly. And then also during start of the year session, there could be a drop and then firming up move. And tomorrow they are expected to open higher and gain further up. Then I'll give the Asian session live market analysis tomorrow so that we will see how exactly this week they are making the moves. So these are all the initial lows and the highs set for today. Probably you can take a screenshot. It is being recorded and the link for that will be displayed in the blog as well as archives. You can go through that as well. So I take this opportunity to thank FX Street and also the participants here who come here to listen to my webinar. And we will meet again tomorrow during the same time. I will also follow the market and give you the remarks in the blog, market trading blog. So looking forward to have more interaction and for your more benefits. Thank you one and all.